2, 3.
Hello and welcome back to Mixing Music. I'm your host DK, and today with me I have a very special guest, my friend Benjamin Reynolds. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, man.
Well, it's good to have you here. I'm so grateful that you could be on the show. Today we have a very special episode with my friend Benny Rennie. And I love that nickname, by the way.
It's sick,
such a
right?
good nickname.
I know.
So Benny Rennie and I, we just finished a song for him. Benjamin is one of my clients. And we do a lot of mixing together. He produces his own music and writes his own music and does most of the recording at home, but we do the vocals together because he likes that, and we can work together, and I kind of produce the vocals a little bit.
Because you're the best.
Thanks, homie. And then we sat down and mixed it together. And today, you've just tuned into a very special episode. This is probably going to be the very first episode of a mix breakdown. We're going to break down a mix, and we're going to have what Benjamin thought of, like what he was going for, and what I was able to achieve what I was able to achieve from his perspective as an artist. Now, this might mean it might be a little bit different, but I think this is really good feedback, and we can learn from what an artist is looking for in a mix. So first, let's play back just 30 seconds of the demo. But you don't wanna love me, no. But I just wanna love you, though. Whoa, can we stay up late like we used to? Breaking all the rules like we used to. Talking on the phone like we used to. Yeah. Dope song. Good job, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Try.
So we just played the chorus a little bit, just a few seconds of it. But in your production, what were some of the elements that were very important to you? Like what did you want to stand out? What was the emotion that you were trying to portray here?
Yeah, like the big thing I wanted to stand out is just the guitar part, just because it's such an emotional guitar part. And then the drums, it's like super, super simple, but I wanted it just to I wanted the kick to bump and that snare just to clap, you know what I'm saying? And so,
yeah, and you had a friend that played that guitar, right?
Yeah, I had a friend that played the guitar.
To a certain degree, you just also wanted to respect him and what he did. So you wanted that guitar out. And I did notice that there's no bass in the song, at all. So that was just the first chorus, but even through the last chorus, there's no bass. So in my mind, I was thinking, let's make up for that space with the kick drum, right?
Yeah.
And so where did you want it to go? If you did this yourself, where do you think it would have gone? And how do you think that it was different from what I did? And,
if I would have mixed this myself?
Yeah.
No, I liked it, I think the whole thing is when I'm making a song, I want it to be a journey that somebody's on, just with the ups and downs of the fluctuations in the voice as well as the dynamics and everything. And so I think you did a great job of that, was just bringing that to life, that it starts off just this mellow and then just comes in.
So you felt like it built pretty well.
Yeah, I thought it built well.
And the vocals were pretty consistent. I did do a lot of automating for the vocals just to make sure that they were a little consistent afterwards.
Yeah.
So now let's listen to the same segment again, and then I'll play the mix segment back to back. But you don't wanna love me, no. But I just wanna love you, though. Whoa, can we stay up late like we used to? Breaking all the rules like we used to. Talking on the phone like we used to. Yeah. But you don't wanna love me, no. But I just wanna love you, though. Whoa, can we stay up late like we used to? Breaking all the rules like we used to. Talking on the phone like we used to. Yeah. Awesome. So now that we listen back in context like that, right back to back, I purposely didn't make it louder or quieter or anything like that. I kind of kept it pretty level during the two examples. It's not that much different, huh?
No, not much at all.
But how does it make you feel as the artist? What? I mean, obviously you liked it. You approved of the mix.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that obviously I like this mixed version better just because one, I love the way that you just like sit the harmonies. You just do super crazy good job of like sitting them well, and then just like the amount of verb and everything you put together. And so that's my favorite part about that whole thing was just how you do your harmonies with the mixing.
So, I mean, we can get really nerdy and talk about the levels and the compression and EQ, but from like an artistic standpoint, what was I able to enhance like emotionally because of the harmonies? Like, was it more like intimate you felt like? Or?
It was more like, I don't know. It was exactly what I was going for, like emotionally. Like it just like pulls out this just like feeling of just like longing, you know, like it just makes me like, because the song's about like you don't want to love me, but like I want to love you, you know, and so it just really pulls that out for me.
So do you think that I was able to kind of enhance that longing feeling with just like reverb and a little bit quieter and subdued in the background? I took out a little bit of the high end out of the harmonies, I believe. Yeah,
you did, and I like that just because it really makes you. I feel like it pulls you into the track more that way, just because I love that harmony, and it's a little bit more subtle, so it pulls me in to want to listen to it more, and then it just makes me more into the track.
Awesome. Interesting. I love that. Cool. Let's play another 30 seconds from a different part of this song. I can't wait no more. I can't wait no more. Oh Lord, I can't take no more. I can't take no more. Tell me where you're gonna run to after everything we've been through. Sorting through the real and the fake. I don't know what to make of all of this. I can't wait no more. I can't wait no more. Oh Lord, I can't take no more. I can't take no more. Tell me where you're gonna run to after everything we've been through. Sorting through the real and the fake. I don't know what to make of all of this. So let's talk about the microphone choice real fast. We use the SM7B, which is a pretty dark microphone. And you like that microphone, right? You've had experiences in the past.
Yeah, I love that microphone.
Yeah, and in this section, we did the second verse. We just played back the second verse, part of it, half of it. And you can hear how dark the microphone is in the very first, in the demo, where when you do the ad-libs and then it's like super dark and nice and, thick, but dark. And then if you hear like the mixed version, it's a lot quieter. It's brighter, but not too much brighter. And it's doused in reverb. Because I think, like, from you, like, we've set that communication up in the past. Like, we've created that dialogue. You like that reverb sound.
Yeah,
right?
I love that reverb sound.
Yeah. Like, who are some of the influences that you have when you try to produce and make music?
Probably, like, one of them, like, obviously from, like a long standpoint has been Justin Bieber. Like, I love his, just, like, the mix on his vocals and just, like, his writing. But also this group out of Canada called Always Never, and then this other guy called Anders. And then, so they're like the main ones. I just love that reverb, and you can see that in my producing, too, just, like, that airy, like, more, like, laid back, like, R&B feel.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was a vibe that you were going for that you have been influenced by. And I kind of did some research. I mean, we listened to it the very, very first time we mixed. So this is many songs ago.
Yeah.
But the very, very first time we mixed something together, we did. I think I pulled up a bunch of Justin Bieber songs, and we pulled up a bunch of those artists that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we listened back to them and kind of got the vibe for them.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to copy him. I can't sound like Justin Bieber's mix engineer.
No.
I can't. But I mean, like, it's going to sound like me, but there's a vibe, and I think that we were able to achieve that vibe. What do you think?
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's why I like working with you is just because of how much you do respect my say, and then also like what the artist is going for.
Yeah. And like for me, I'm thinking in this song, there's a lot of like snare and hi-hat. And when you gave me the demo, I noticed that the snare and hi-hat were really loud. And I think that what you just said, like, I try to my very best to respect the producer and the artist. So I respected what your demo said, and I left the hi-hat and snare pretty loud. Yeah. Which I think in a song like Minimal like this made a big difference. So Benny, I have to ask you something that I want to ask you a question that can have you kind of expose your feelings and your response to the mix that we did. in a way that people listening right now can take away from and, apply some of the ideas, even if it's not the actual techniques, just some of the ideas and the mentality that they can apply to their own mixes. So what did I do differently or better? I'm not trying to compare, but what did I do differently that you liked, that you would not expect another mix engineer or mix engineers you've worked with in the past to have done?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is every time I go into a track, I always go with a minimalistic mindset in it. And that's what I like about your mixing. That's one of the things that I've really noticed that you do is just how minimalistic you are on the vocals. You get them to pop and you get the verb that I want, but besides that, you're not drowning it in too much reverb. You're not pulling it back too far. You're just very minimalistic. You can just listen to a track, I feel like, and you're just boom, this is what it needs, and that's why we've recorded together before and stuff, is just because you're really good at helping me to pull out ideas. But you can just listen to a track, and I feel like you're really good at catching the vibe of the track and the emotion, and you're like, okay, this is what I need to do to get to where I'm at, or you're always at least headed in the right direction.
So in layman's term, you felt like I excel in understanding you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So, and you feel like I understand where you want it to go, and you honestly feel like I'm respecting that direction.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and this song is absolutely dope. Thank you for coming in and doing this episode with me, Benjamin. Benny, I keep wanting to call you Benny Rennie.
You can call me Benny Rennie.
And I will continue to call you Benny Rennie after this episode.
That's good.
Thank you so much, Benjamin. We're so grateful to have you on the show. And I'm so happy that I get to work with you. I really like your music. I really like what you're going for. And I'm really grateful that we can, find the opportunity to work together. So, Ben, can you tell us where we can find your music?
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, just pretty much all major streaming platforms, just under Benjamin Reynolds.
So full name Benjamin Reynolds?
Full name Benjamin Reynolds.
In the same spelling that you would expect it to be? No crazy spellings?
No.
And what about your social media?
So it's just straight across the board, Benjamin Reynolds, just like to make it easy so people can find me.
Sweet. Awesome. So make sure you look up Benjamin Reynolds for all of his other songs. Great artist, great friend. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks again for everybody who's listening. Please give us a 5-star rating or a review. That does help us so much. I did make a Facebook group for mixing music. The Facebook group is meant to be specifically for giving each other mixed feedback and, asking questions about the mentality and even some techniques, whatever you guys want to talk about. But the whole point of that Facebook group is to help each other out and to learn and grow with each other. You can find that on Facebook. Just search Mixing Music Podcast, and I think it's called Mixing Music Podcast Group. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Please keep hustling, keep working hard. You guys believe in yourselves, whatever it takes to just keep pushing forward and pushing your careers. Mixing is fun, and just keep it fun, And remember why you enjoy it. Work with the artist always, and stay saucy.
1, 2, 3.
This episode of Mixing Music with DK has been brought to you by LaunchPod Media. If you want to start a podcast, make sure to start it right with LaunchPod Media.